What's going on, my roadies? My name is Dustin, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a different video, something that I don't really do on this channel, which is talk about something that has been an ever-burning thing of mine. Almost 5 years ago, I decided to create, technically, it's a little over 5 years actually. October 29, 2017 was my first uploaded video of Hostile Waters Part 1. Hostile Waters was a game that was made back in, I think, 2002, I want to say, and it has been an ever-present game that I have played over the past decade. It definitely has been a game that, in my opinion, is largely lost, especially due to the way that the graphics were from back then, and it hasn't really matured very well over the years. If you guys are interested, I'll provide links down below to the entire playlist where I actually go over. My commentary was very raw. This was one of the first couple of series I actually ended up doing, and watching it now, the little stuttering that happens. I was recording on a laptop. I didn't have the best, latest and greatest, graphics stuff. I still don't, but things are much different, much better now. So this was back then. The last episode that I uploaded of it, and you can tell there's good old, look at me, I'm so young. This is 4 years ago, June 26, 2018. So the series spanned about half a year's worth of my life, which is pretty good actually. There's a lot of different stuff, a lot of different missions, a lot of different gameplay. If sort of like an action kind of RTS with the way that the war room kind of works right here. Trying to kind of fast forward a little bit. I'll show you guys a little bit more of why I'm talking about this here in a second. And it might be, I think it's going to be the title, which is Hostile Waters Remaster or Remake. So you get into the position where you can kind of issue commands from what we call the war room. So you can issue commands, and artificial intelligence, other characters can move around and do stuff, and you can have it's a lot more complicated than it might initially seem to be. I'm just really excited, so I apologize for any lack of professional sense in sentences, or just, I don't know, I'm just excited about this. So this is a video that popped up on my feed a while back. It was actually uploaded April 1st, 2021. Now the timeline on this is a little interesting. I stopped uploading because I stopped recording 2018. The remake supposedly was uploaded the 21st in April. This is a mid-game boss that they uploaded gameplay of, that you basically fight it, but it's in a more modern game engine. It doesn't look all like polygonal and stuff. It actually looks like circles are circles, and it's not so like Resident Evil 2 kind of graphics, if that makes sense. It looks a lot better, it plays a lot better, a lot more smoother, and it's going to be on more modern devices. So when I first saw this, my initial thought was, okay, cool, but it's on April 1st. Is this a joke? And so I started looking further into it. It is not a joke. There's this whole channel called Hostile Waters Remake that has only 34 videos, 350 subscribers as of today, and this is a remake of the 2001, so it was a little off, Hostile Waters game. Now, the original game was actually developed inside the United Kingdom, if I remember correctly. And this individual, whoever this person is basically remaking the entire game, little by little, piece by piece. And what's interesting about this is that not only is the art style very more, I guess, modernized, but the game, from what it looks like, it's going to be really good. They have ideas to do multiplayer like co-op, deathmatch, and skirmish, so that would be kind of cool to do too. But some of these early on just little snippets look really cool. That brings me to the next thing of the itch.io page. I was recently, this last weekend, when I was looking for games for the 3 itch.io games, I kind of stumbled across this again, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're still working on it, I think, and that's what led me over here, seeing 2 months ago. 2 months ago? Oh, okay, so if we continue to scroll down, we can see all the beautiful screenshots and video things, and then we go to development log, 17 days ago, the 12th of March. So this isn't 2 months ago. This is when this video was uploaded, but this is in fact 2 weeks ago. That led me to go and say, yes, please, download. That brings me to where we are now. I'm hoping that this works. I have not actually tested this. It looks like it's going to work. So 2023 Hostile Waters Community is the copyright. I finally got it to start working. I had a little bit of technical issues, but I got it working. So this is the now modernized cinematic or cutscene at the very beginning that we're going to sit and watch.
20 years ago, this was the scene of the last war on Earth. This Pacific island is where the future was built.
It already looks
where the old guard,
tremendous.
the fossilized establishment, was brought down. 20 years have been spent building a new Earth, a world of plenty and peace.
Man, it looks so good.
But the old guard never went away. The remaining monsters of the 20th century, the death lovers, the power brokers, the old men who lived on theft and hate, have formed a cabal with the intent to break the world apart.
This looks pristine.
With new machinery unimagined by the outside world, they have incorporated the island into a newly grown chicane of similar islands. The Earth literally forced by machines to throw islands up into an artificial design. The Cabal control their operations from the shielded island in the center of the chicane. Operations for war against a world that's given war up.
My favorite line right here.
It's up to the new society of 2032 to relearn war, to revive the last of the adaptive cruisers.
Not the buoy.
Give it the ability to lend battle vehicles autonomous control by bonding their systems with the chip-contained minds of dead soldiers, and to send them all into the chicane to fight their way through to Island Zero and the nightmare waiting there to be set loose on the planet. These are hostile waters.
These are hostile waters. This game has been an absolute blast for me to play. When I first discovered it, when I first started playing it, and even nowadays, it continues to be an amazing game. Now, we're going to go through and just kind of play through the very beginning. There's one setting though that I want to enable, which I don't know if they have it. They might not because it's also so new. I don't think that they're going to have it. They do have a multiplayer option, which is interesting because I don't think the original actually had that. Inside the game, there's a little bit of cussing, so there was an option to remove swearing in the original, but let's watch some more cinematics here. I don't think there's any in this first cinematic.
Walker? Walker?
It looks a little
Morning,
janky,
Church.
but
Have you slept?
a lot better than the original,
I
though,
think
that's
I
for
may
sure.
have drifted for 5 minutes. It's hard, you know?
Now, that actually did happen in the original, where Walker just kind of like stared at her while he twisted, so that there's still going to be a moderate amount of jank, I imagine.
Church. I've had word from Minitech. They finished their report on the missiles and warheads.
I have the full analysis here.
No heat signature, self-replicating fuel, fast strike.
70% of the missile capable of carrying payload. I skimmed through it on the way up here.
There aren't many people who have access to these technologies. Any of these technologies, not anymore. A few of our people, 1 or 2 from Minitech, no more. We made sure of that. Over the past 20 years, we've had our agents keep close tabs on all the radicals, and none of them have developed any significant weaponry, certainly nothing of this magnitude.
Maybe a new group. One that slipped through the system?
Nobody slips through the system. We've got more agents out there than there are faction members. If there was a split, we'd know about it. For Christ's sake, we control most of them. They can't take a shit without us knowing about it.
Who then?
I did forget there was that one word. So far, how do I word this without sounding critical? There's a lot of things that are very reminiscent. A lot of the posters, they look very similar. A lot of the assets that are used, the table, monitors and stuff, it looks good, but it's still a little bit janky.
Some months ago, it came to our attention that large shipments of raw materials were being routed to an island chicane in the Pacific Ocean. Central's records show that new research facilities are planned for the area and that some work has begun, but this doesn't explain the quantities that have been shipped there. 2 weeks ago, we sent a small ops team into the area to carry out preliminary investigations.
And?
And we haven't heard from them. Their links have been disabled.
Any clues as to why?
Nothing but speculation and conjecture. But with that, alongside the attacks last night, the disappearance of 3 of our most prolific scientists over the past 12 months means we're fast running out of options. We need to act. At 4 o'clock this morning, Central gave the green light to reopen the Antaeus program.
The Antaeus program? But the Antaeus technology is gone. Destroyed. All the vessels disassembled after the war.
There were. All but 2. Look around you, Church. We use the same technology to purify the air, to provide food and clothing, to manage and maintain our environment. We've turned that technology into something that benefits every person in this city. Every inhabitant of the Earth.
I said this in my original playthrough, but if that is actually a poster right there, I would get it 100%. Really cool poster. That sphere is just so
Sit down, Church.
spherical versus the original. Also, the ready is going by.
There's something you don't know about the Antaeus cruisers.
Little things
Information
here.
that only a handful of people have ever been privy to, and that's been kept classified for the past 20 years.
I'm listening.
You've heard of Soulcatcher?
Classified 1990s American military program? Theoretical research into storing human brain functions on silicon. It was closed in the late 90s to make funds available for the advancement of the SETI programs.
Actually,
Mostly
the
correct,
blinking of the
but
eyes.
it was never
Pretty good
closed.
too.
Far from it. Every crew member on an Antaeus vessel was fitted with a Soulcatcher chip. If they ever died in combat, their thoughts, their abilities, their minds were stored on silicon, ready to be salvaged and used again to pilot a specially adapted craft built using the cruiser's onboard nanofactories.
Nice.
That's not all. The Soulcatcher system proved fine for most tasks, but it was crucial that the captain of a cruiser should always be corporeal, a real human with a real mind. This presented the scientists and technicians with a problem. The chips could survive being inactive for years on end, but how could a human be stored? How could they put a human being in stasis? The answer, unfortunately, was that they couldn't.
So who?
Walker.
Sir?
Church.
Sir,
Have you finished your briefing yet, Walker?
No, sir. I was just...
It'll have to wait. I've just heard from Central, and the news isn't good. Of the reactivations, only one has been successful. Antaeus Prototype 00.
What about 04?
Cerebral damage. It won't respond to the reactivation signal. We'll have to go with just the one cruiser. It's within a day of the last known position of the Spec Ops team, and is in a serviceable condition.
When you say serviceable...
Propulsion is online. Command is online. The net link is working. Scanners are online. The main guns are down. Replication is offline. Automated lifting is offline.
how much can be repaired using the nano repair systems?
Providing we're careful, enough to hold the ship together, until we can get it to a disused wet dock, situated 65 kilometers east of the current position. A mini-tech repair team is being dropped into the area at 2300 hours today. They're going to stay concealed until the cruiser is within an hour of the wet dock, just in case we're being observed. They'll then activate the automated service systems and dock the carrier.
All right. So, I haven't played this game in years.
There's an island lying off the bow of the cruiser.
Oh, this is
There
scary.
should be enough scrap metal lying around there to get the creation engines back online.
I'm not going to apologize for it, but I will make a mention. I have this dumb, goofy grin on my face because this is such a gem from the past that has come back in the present with better graphics to reach a newer audience. And the nostalgia that I'm having is just, it's amazing.
The reactivation system has built one Pegasus unit
That was so smooth.
and one Scarab unit, equipped with a recycling unit. The Soul Catcher interface is badly damaged, however.
All right.
Captain, you'll need to use the direct link to control those vehicles until we've got your Soul Catcher interface back online. Church, I want you to patch into the carrier's systems and see if you can diagnose what is wrong. Do whatever you can to get that interface system working. Walker, monitor progress and advise as necessary. I want hourly updates from both of you. Don't let us down.
Now, I will mention with the character models, like the eyes blinking and stuff and the mouth opening, the original... Okay, the music, I thought it was just over. The original, I don't know why I didn't really pay that much attention, maybe because I played through it so many times and why that's such a critical thing for me, is whenever I'm talking to like NPCs and stuff, I'm used to them not being completely synced up. So I don't know why that's kind of bugging me, but it kind of is at the same time. So we're not going to worry about tutorial. Famous last words. Oh my goodness. I don't really like that the mouse is kind of there, but that might just be a... yeah, F1. Or, what's the button for it? There's a button for it. Spacebar. So spacebar unlocks your camera, and then you can, like, access those things. So, we'll just do this. Alright, so... I'm just gonna kind of not really pay too much attention and, like, explain too much what I'm doing, but...
Once you have dropped Scarab onto the most easterly of the two beaches, you should move up to this area, salvaging whatever you can on the way.
There's the Scarab, node below. So what's really cool about this game is this is basically a tutorial level where there's no real, like, crazy, you know, enemies or anything like that. I'm just trying to get past the tutorial as quickly as I can and ignore all the little text on the side. So basic controls is you move around, you look at stuff. Oh, they even got the lock, right? Nice. And the little Pegasus unit, you move around, and you can even like swap to a different vehicle while salvaging. It does take a little bit longer, but I just want to move it slightly out of the way. Oh man, this is so cool. So Pegasus unit, you right click on the unit that you want to... Oh man, that was instinctive. You right click on the unit that you want to pick up, and then once you have it selected and it's red, you left click, and then you can move it around. You basically are carrying it around. And you don't have to do what I'm doing here. It does make it a little bit faster, but at the same time, not really. Do they have night vision? Oh, they do. And night vision's not just completely white during the daytime. That's actually very nice. It's like a smart version of night vision. So in this mission, all we have to do, if we hold down O, is gather 3,500 EJ of energy. Both the Scarab and Pegasus must survive. And you can kill the Pegasus if you're not careful, so... But so far on...
It reminds me of what it was like. This island was over a mile square, you know.
I've heard the stories, but I never thought.
What's crazy to me is the fluidity of the game, like how fast it's... I'm holding down W still. I'm just going backwards. All right, cool. There's a little bit of like tiny amounts of like... It's probably nostalgia. That's probably the thing. I don't think... Was 78 the limit before? I thought it was 68. Maybe they extended it for the sake of this, because maybe they were annoyed by it. I don't know who the developer is of this, by the way, and if you are watching, I just want to say keep up the great work. I can already tell you right now this game is going to gain in popularity, and that's not just me, like... It might just be, you know, kind of projecting, but I really want this game to be successful, and if it does eventually become like a full-blown video or like a full-blown game... Day-night cycle's a little fast, but that's okay. Yeah, if this game gets completely made, like all 23 missions or whatever it is, including like a co-op, maybe a skirmish and that sort of stuff, I will definitely check it out. And I do want to like complete. I do want to do a complete like playthrough of it again, because this game is a huge thing of my past. And I'll go ahead. I'll pause for a second here. If you guys want to read it, go ahead. But yeah, this has definitely been something that has been part of my life for sure, and I absolutely love this game. So that's tutorial mission number 1. Let's actually get into mission number 2, which create a new save. Let's just, can I just, oh no. I couldn't, there we go. Test, there we go. Let's go ahead and continue. And there's little cinematics in between each mission too.
This is an artifact of nanotechnology, a science of small things. These are assemblers, powerful computerized engines, each just a dusting of atoms wide. One alone can begin building an object from nothing up, one atom at a time.
I don't feel too bad for...
Millions of assemblers could sit unnoticed in the crevices of your hands.
Oh my gosh.
Billions of them
crazy.
could build a plane from the ruins of a tank and a few handfuls of dirt within hours. The untold trillions in the adaptive cruiser's creation reactor will create new weapons and vehicles from what the scavengers bring back within seconds.
I was going to pose the idea that I don't feel too bad about the little, like, scavenger, or the little assembler guys
We
there,
think the
because
Hornet wreckage is somewhere near the center of the island, lying to the west of your position.
they do their own thing and we do our own thing. So this is our first mission with a little bit of combat. I'm just all over the place today. Hang on.
Build a Pegasus unit and locate the helicopter. Then lift it into position over the sampling unit situated towards the stern of the carrier. If your positioning's right, the sampler will lock onto the wreck and absorb it. Provided the encoded replication schematics are intact, you'll then be able to build Hornet-class helicopters. You'll also receive the helicopter's energy to help with new vehicle construction. How are you getting on with the repairs, Church?
Slower than we'd hoped. Soulcatcher is partially repaired, but it'll be a while before it's fully functional. Captain, you can add Soulcatcher chips to your vehicles and give them orders from the war room, but the direct ordering system is still giving us problems. It's possible the salt water's corroded some of the power conduits between the carrier and the interface. I'll keep on it as a priority and give you a full brief as soon as I have any news.
I need to be straight with you, Captain. Things aren't looking good back here. Last night, Pacific State, Baltic Central, and SoCal were all hit by missiles launched from locations suspected to be within your theater of operation. As soon as Antaeus is back to full operational strength, we need to locate the launch sites and shut them down.
It might just be me, and I'm just kind of huge into audio when it comes to games. I feel like that cut and then that re-loop of audio, there's like a second longer, maybe half a second longer of just dead silence that could be cut out, in my opinion.
The people just can't take this sort of pressure. They never expected to see violence and destruction on this scale ever again. We promised them a new world. Until now, we've delivered, but we have to carry on delivering. Central is becoming increasingly concerned that if these attacks continue, we may be forced to look for a peaceful solution to the crisis. And that may mean appeasing whoever's behind this terror campaign.
I do not remember this line in the original. It could be so long since I last played that I just don't remember it, but I don't remember it being there.
The success of this mission is about more than saving lives.
Same thing with this.
It's about saving the society we've worked so hard to create over the last 20 years. We're counting on your success. Don't let us down.
I do not remember that last two things there. That's interesting. There might be more voice lines that I've never heard of. So let's go to the creation part of it all. So here we can do things with soul units or soul catcher stuff. You do get access to this in the second mission. Okay. So we'll do recycler.
Ready and on deck.
And for right now, that's all we need to worry about. So let's just wait. Hang on. Get back down. There it is. Oh, Antaeus is kind of sparking too. I didn't actually. Hang on. We can put Soul Calibur down. Soul Calibur. Something completely different. Let's go put the Scarab down. And then we'll take a look at Antaeus over here for a second. Wow, they did a really good job with the modeling on it. It definitely looks like it's been in the ocean for a long time. Very rusted. The paint's just kind of not there anymore. It's sparking as if to be like, hey, I'm barely functional, bro. So, you know. So, let's see. So, man, I'm all over the place with this. One of the things with resources in the game is sometimes you have to salvage resources like this that just are too big to be salvaged in one go. I don't know if they kept that or if they're going to break it up. Yes, they do. So this was a big thing to me in the original game that was borderline an inconvenience, but at the same time, you know, I can kind of see why they would do it. Can I get that one? There we go. Sometimes right-clicking is fine, but then you can also just like hit R and it tries to go whatever's closest to your crosshair. And plus, if you lock, oh, they did change the binding a little bit. It used to be Q and E to rotate side to side, but now it's A and D, just like, you know, moving around A and D, which is still okay. Makes a lot more sense instead of giving Q and E buttons to push. But as far as I know, there's only like the first 3 missions available. I do want to play until the end of the 3rd mission just to kind of give you guys more of what to expect with this game, because it's such a game that I'm sure a lot of people watching have never even seen before. And maybe some of you who are watching, you specifically, you know, are also aware of this project that is being progressed, I guess. This, and I'm just blanking on words. This project that they're working on getting the game fully finished, at least I hope they are. I really do. I haven't checked out. They have a Discord as well. They have like, well, I tried the website, but that actually doesn't work. So I can actually go drifting. Woo! But yeah, there's a lot of people kind of checking it out, but it's.
Captain, it seems the area is covered by some sort of radar net. Keep watching your scanners for any signs of hostile movement. Active units will appear in red on both short and long-range scanners.
And get that helicopter back to the sampler as quickly as you can. Now you've been detected, we need to get you out.
It might just be me, but I feel like the. I feel like it needs to be up just a little bit because the Pegasus is quite loud. So we're gonna get the helicopter. We're gonna take it back to Antaeus, which we should be able to find with the tilde key. Hopefully, we can also hit F. Well, I just went into Antaeus' cockpit. Yeah, I feel like the Pegasus moves faster. It might just be like a difference of game engine. Like the original felt like it moved and played a lot slower to me. More than anything, it's probably a game engine thing. Like more modern game engine, more modern
Sampling in
ability
progress.
to like process
Sampling
things.
in progress. Do not move.
All right. So now we can go inside Antaeus and we can actually see how long it's how long it's gonna take. And I do want it to also salvage the Pegasus unit. That way I don't have to worry about it. And if we hit F1, or you can also hit space and then Q, we can actually hold down Control, and provided it's not okay. No, it won't do that. There was in the original where you can hold down Control and then you can like change the layout. It's Shift 1. Oh, you can group things. I really don't like that though. I really don't. I kind of like that. Like maybe having a group of helicopters all with, you know, how do I get to the right? Oh, okay. So
New technical information available.
okay, so you use left or right to select the vehicle and then you hit the button for the group again, which is a little
Warning.
weird.
Disassembling
It's definitely
vehicle.
new and I don't mind it, but it's kind of weird.
Do not let anything happen to Antaeus, Captain. Destroy those helis.
So we're just going to activate
Unit
a bunch of
complete.
helicopters.
God, this is strange. Vehicle ready.
Back in action.
Vehicle ready and on deck.
Feels like I never went away.
All right, so right click, we can rotate the map. I think middle mouse, yeah, we can move around the map. I'm trying to see where there's a red dot in the middle of here, but oh my gosh, you can actually zoom out pretty far. I do not see the helicopter on the map.
This is Antaeus, under attack.
All right, so let's just
Sir,
tell
orders
you to
confirmed.
attack over here, and then attack
Okay,
over
sir.
there.
Yes, sir.
Attack,
Roger
attack,
that. Ransom here. Acknowledged.
attack.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to go
Yeah, this
into
is Ransom.
Ransom's POV here. So from here, we can just kind of watch. Oh my gosh. It's a little wonky, not going to lie. So from here, we can just kind of watch them. Or if we hit control, we can then manually take control of it. Oh, there's a bit of like leading that you have to do. Interesting. But if we hit control again, he'll be back in control. He'll just continue his orders, whatever they might be. So this is where things get really cool, because if you don't want to do all this salvaging thing here, you can then just go ahead and put somebody else inside the salvaging unit and then have somebody else do it for
Ransom
you.
commencing attack.
Or we can just kind of like go and watch these people, and you know, they alert us by, you know, voice clips and that sort of stuff. It says that we don't have access to it, but okay, so this up here, we're not supposed to see all this other stuff. Like, I should not be able to see or like click on any of that stuff, but it's there, which tells me that they do have that coded in the game. It's just we're not supposed to have that yet.
Sir,
So
I'm listening.
Borden, you have
Borden.
the
Orders
lowest
confirmed.
HP, so let's just get you over here where my scarab is.
Unit engaged.
There's a couple of ACACs over here, but they're just, I think that one might actually be fine. No, they're all broken. So there's nothing to actually damage my units. Otherwise, Borden would probably be dead right about now, but we do have to, I believe, kill these, and then that'll count as enemies. Wow. Now, in the original, too, they used to do, like, kind of like this, and then they would do, like, a strafing pattern thing. I don't know if they have that in the game just yet, but I don't know if they also have any intentions of adding it. I would imagine so, because it's a remake, and it was in the original, so it makes sense, but then again, I've been, you know, lied to from other game manufacturers, AAA games and the like. Why?
Yeah, this is Ransom. Yes, sir.
You guys, like, head out over there? Is there, like, just some random dude just chilling out there? No?
I'm listening.
I want you to then go down
Sir, yes,
here.
sir. Affirmative,
Here.
sir. Roger that. Accepted.
Here.
Roger that.
And this was also in the day and age where you'd have a limit of waypoints. It just says defend the carrier. It says incomplete. Maybe if I just hit 5,500 to get, I'm like 4 energy off. Are you kidding me? I think once I get enough, then it probably will count because the carrier was defended the entire time. But like, yeah, this looks amazing.
Well done.
Yep.
Now
Okay.
let's get you out of there.
So, as always, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pause for a second here. Go ahead and pause if you actually want to read the entire thing for lore reasons, but we're going to go ahead and continue. And then there's also a memory of the 2012 campaign that Ransom had. It won't let me save on it, but that's okay. So here's another cutscene.
I was the last of the solo helicopter strikers.
Same island, by the way.
This outer band of islands was where the fundamentalists made their last stand. If there weren't going to be any more churches, then by God, there weren't going to be any more people.
Oh my gosh, those missiles went fast. So this is Ransom.
It was the last real fight on Earth, and I loved it. I didn't regret dying in it. I was an aviator. We don't lay down and die, crap out in a comfy armchair with a fat wife, and tick like kids dripping all over us. We just drop out of the air. The Soul Catcher chip knew what was happening. I felt it crackle, take a deep breath, summon itself, and suck me in. My name is Ransom.
Okay, so there was a little differences from the original cutscene to that, but still, it's a very story-driven
Locate and
one, too.
demolish the facility that produced those recon choppers. The oil derricks near the south shore of the island are probably fueling a construction plant, so we're relatively certain the facility is somewhere nearby. It would be tactically sound to destroy those derricks before trying to locate the factory. If they can't produce energy, they'll have to fall back on reserve power to continue construction, which can only last for a limited amount of time. Once you have located it, destroying the facility itself shouldn't be a problem, but assume it'll be well defended. Try to stockpile energy before proceeding. That way, you'll be able to replace lost units quickly and efficiently. Church?
We still don't have the direct ordering system back online, but the engineers at Minitech have been able to develop an ablative armor plating system for your vehicles. They've already downloaded the schematics to the construction systems. Adding armor to your vehicles will make them much more resilient to hostile fire, although there is a limit to how much you can add before the additional benefits become negligible. Church, out.
Alright, so we'll do this mission, and then from there, we'll call it for this video. Alright, I had to double check the time. It's been about 36 minutes. I think we're fine on time, so let me go ahead and get a Pegasus unit. I'm just gonna do this myself, like always. Oh, it's actually, you can actually see the little, like, I guess there are disassemblers in there. And I didn't even look at any of this other stuff. Like, there's the Soul unit. That's actually really cool. They look really, really snazzy. I like it.
Unit complete.
So let's go ahead and add in for these. We'll get Ransom
Unit
this,
complete.
and then
Ready and able.
I want you to
Roger
attack
that.
here, and then
Yes,
attack
sir.
there, and then 2 is going to be behind me.
Structure under attack. Yeah.
All right, now Ransom's just going to go off. So on the top, over here, you can see the health bars and stuff.
Destroy those oil derricks, Captain.
The darker green is actually armor. The lighter green is more so like the hull. So the armor, it will continue, it basically just extends the amount of life that a unit has.
This is Beta Team. They've shut down all our energy production. With the derricks gone, they won't be able to keep up
Oh,
production.
I've been
for
shot at.
long. Secure the area, then locate and
Got some
destroy the
tanks.
factory.
Okay, so, oh, hang on, give me a second. So it's shift,
Sir,
shift,
come to see an aviator in action, sir?
sort of. More so meant to stop these tanks from shooting at my scarab guy. Wow, the tanks even look pretty cool too.
Unit engaged.
Alright, so now Ransom's gonna kind of just chill, hang out. Well, I guess he's gonna go back and do his objective. I feel like they should have a little bit more conscious awareness because he just ran into this thing over here without meaning to, which is a little annoying. Because he took more damage than he absolutely needed to. Why is he taking damage? Ah, okay. I thought he was somehow hurting himself. He's not. He's just fighting little guys. Alright, so there he is, just slowly doing damage. Can we afford another one? Not yet. We need 50 more, and we're so close to it. Oh my gosh, I don't even see the tank here on the radar. What?
Sir, confirmed.
That might just be a weird thing with the, like, playtests, demo, whatever you want to call this. I guess it's like a demo. Okay, can you just be more accurate, please? For the love of everything. Thanks, Ransom. Alright.
Vehicle ready.
Get another
Order
one.
here, on deck.
Alright, so Borden,
Sir?
can
Sir.
you two
Roger
just go up over there, please?
Storage pod detected. I've got ACAC on radar.
It looks like those derricks are actually fueling a tank facility. Destroy it before proceeding.
Oh my
A
gosh,
building
the
of that
debris.
size will contain huge amounts of energy for you to scavenge. This is ground unit production. We are under attack.
Yeah, the AI could use a little bit of work. They're like bumping into each other and stuff like that. That's like the #1 issue that I have in games is that it just doesn't feel very realistic in that way. Not that realism is what you're going for, but in a world that wants to feel like it's alive and that it exists, it's kind of a good thing to do. So, you know. Also, I'm noticing too, in the original,
This is Beta Team. All production is down. I repeat, all production is down.
Reinforcements urgently requested. Base, I'm taking hostile fire. Reinforcements required.
okay, we're fine. In the
Hello, darling.
original, hey Borden. In the original,
darling.
what? I'm getting distracted.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how they fare here. They might end up getting themselves killed. In the original, the bottom left with the little circle, it would show like a square as to which one you're highlighting. In here, it doesn't, which is a little weird. But again, it's,
This is Ransom.
you know,
I'm at
it's
the RV.
a playtest demo. A lot of this has to be just
I've
coming
reached my
down to
destination.
I can't destroy fence. This giant behemoth of a vehicle and I can't run over a fence. What? Okay. Oh my gosh. It's very quick, actually. So, all in all, comparison to the original versus this, there's not too much different, honestly. There's a little bit of things here and there that are a little bit funky, like the AI moving around and like bumping into things. I feel like the movement speed is a little fast in comparison. A lot of the vehicles, like I'm actually drifting. In the original, you would never do that. That's basically what I mean by when I feel like you're moving too quickly. The pacing feels a little too more fast paced, which again, a game from, you know, early 2000s versus a game in now today's
Vehicle
era,
ready. Borden
it's
on Bay 1.
gonna have that
Vehicle ready
difference.
and on deck.
Like,
Batten on Bay 2.
Vehicle ready.
On deck, sir.
there was also this difference of how the game was back then too, where whenever you went to, say, the war room or to your creation or to, I think, F3, but it's escape, there'd be like a bit of static that would appear too. So you'd hit F1, there'd be some static going into this, and then when you go to your creation, there'd be a little bit of static as well. And whenever you leave any of them, going back to your normal gameplay, there'd be a little bit of static, as if to be like you're terminating connection with whatever it is that you're able to see those logistics. Which, I mean, to be fair, it's one of those little minor things, but as far as it is, the sound quality, the sound design stuff, it feels like the exact same thing from the original, because there's not much more you can do other than just, you know, embrace the original, sadly. So that's just, unfortunately, the way that is. So, Borden, can you attack,
Roger that.
attack,
Sir?
attack,
Affirmative, sir.
attack, and then
Roger that.
attack. So now immediately they're off to getting themselves hurt. So
I've got
that's nice.
ACAC on radar.
I've detected their units.
Should we? Yeah, we're gonna watch Patton. So they're kind of spaced out now, but they did run into it. Okay, that's a little sudden. It could use a little bit more polish, is all I'll say about that. Like, they feel very aimbot-like, and that's, again, not a bad thing. It's just like that they wouldn't normally hit each other or like hit objects. It is still kind of fun to watch though. So they didn't do the first checkpoint yet, now they just did. Borden just smacked into a mountain, or who was that? Was that? No, that was Borden.
Borden here.
You
Okay, sir.
guys
Yeah, this is
get
Ransom.
over there, please. Because I seem to be having issues trying to climb
I've
this
got
little
ACAC on
mountain.
radar.
There we go.
Attacking.
Ransom's taking all the heat again. much like his lore. He just always seems to take, like, instead of
It looks
bumping.
like intelligence was wrong. There's no air unit facility around here.
That platform looks interesting, though. Bring it to the carrier for sampling, and I'll get Minitech to take a look at unit complete.
Sorry, Church, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Like, it just feels too, like, raw input-y. Does that make sense? Like, with some games, it has, like, a delay input or, like, a smooth mousing. That's kind of what the original AI was like.
This is Ransom. I'm at the RV.
And you guys are about to kill each other. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that sort of thing would never really happen that often in the original. It still would happen, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't be, like, that often. It's a little bit annoying, but it's just one of those things. And plus, the amount of damage that you take for, like, barely clipping into something. I barely had a chance, or it barely started taking damage, and then I immediately swapped to it, moved it, and it had already taken like 5% damage, which to me feels a little high, but a lot of these things I feel like are going to either get buffered out or just kind of expected that you're just supposed to pay attention to it from now on, and I'm not really sure which way it's supposed to be, honestly. Does this still work too if I hit enter? No? In the original, you could like hit enter. I'm hitting tab. When you highlight allied unit, you can then hit a button and you can like immediately go into the cockpit of whatever it was.
No construction options available. Warning, we've got disassembling vehicle.
Okay, well, there we go. So, again, I'm going to pause, so go ahead and read if you want to. And just so I can scroll down for the rest of it. Pause if you need to. Continue. I don't know how much more of this is actually here, so I'm going to try to test 2. Did that actually save? I don't think it did. Test 2. Did it save? Create a new save. Why is it not working? Test 2. I think I'm breaking it. So the user interface needs a little bit more work, needs a little bit more polish. That is the first 3 missions of the game. I don't know how many more there are of the game, if it just continues, if it's like an actual full game or not. If you guys want to see more, though, let me know down in the comment section. I'll see what I can do for more future videos on this. This was, again, kind of a pain to actually set up and get working on a more modern Windows 11 machine these days, because that's unfortunately what I have to go with. I know some people might be like, what do you mean, unfortunately? I don't really like anything past, like, Windows 7, Windows Vista was actually the best, but getting off on a different tangent here. This game is absolutely amazing. I'll provide links down below in the description if you guys want to go check it out. Be my guest. If you guys need any assistance, what I can tell you is I needed to run it as administrator, and I needed to run it with compatibility for Windows 7 and Windows 8. So sometimes if you try to launch it and it doesn't work, try those options, see if it works. And if you guys are still having issues, maybe leave a comment down below. I can try to see if I can help you guys. No guarantee that I can help you, but I do want to try to help you, because this game is awesome. I would love to have everybody experience this game for at least once, because it's such a really cool game. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Greatly appreciate y'all. If you guys are new around here, hit the subscribe button, bell icon to be notified of future videos as well as live streams. Again, as a reminder, this upcoming Saturday, I will be doing a live stream on the channel on the laptop. It'll be the first live stream on the laptop. So if you guys want to be there to support me for that, that's when it's happening. I don't know what time of the day yet. It might be sometime in the afternoon, like 2 p.m. Pacific or something like that. So just keep an eye out for it. Hit that. Make sure you hit that bell icon. That way you get notified when I go live. So that way you guys can see that. So and be there and participate. So thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, take it easy, and God bless. Bam.